Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Wide Open with Ashlyn Harris. I am here with Claressa Shields, the one and only incredible boxer who is paving the way for women in your sport in this country. Welcome to the show. You have accomplished so much. I cannot wait to dive into it.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited to see what you're going to ask me.
Well, I am a long time follower of your career. It has been absolutely incredible to see the success and the attention you have brought to such an incredible sport. I said this before you got here. If I could pick any sport as someone who lived a beautiful career in soccer, I would have definitely picked boxing. I mean, first off, you're insanely beautiful. So that tells me exactly how good you are at your craft, because you ain't getting your face bashed in, honey. You look flawless as always.
Thank you.
But you were the first to do so many things. And I really want to talk about that because being the first is so special, especially when it comes to women in sports. In 2012, you went to the London Olympics. It was the first time they had women's boxing in the Olympic Games, correct?
Yes, and I can't believe it's been so long ago.
Girl, you were 16!
13 years ago, Jesus
You were 16!
Christ. That is crazy.
And you won.
Yes.
And you won, and then you came back and you say, not only am I going to win, I'm going to win back-to-back, and I'm going to do something that's never been done before. And both of us were at the Rio Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
You were such a force of nature.
Yes.
And what I hated most is no one knew about it.
Yeah, you know what? I can say that at the Olympic Village, all the athletes knew about it. All
of course.
The NBA players.
Yes.
A few NFL guys reached out, and all of us Olympic athletes knew.
Yeah.
But it was like they look at sports so different in America.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
You know, like you have to have a certain look and have to talk a certain way and have to be a certain way. And then with women's boxing, there is no way to look. I think I look fine as hell.
You look good, babe.
I look good.
You look good.
But to others, I look aggressive and mean and powerful, right? And I think that the world back then and even some now, it's like they haven't really grasped onto that yet. So for me, it was like, so what do you do? Just because the world isn't ready for you, do you stop being as great as you are? It was like, nah, I guess you're just gonna be greater. And that's kind of how I've taken it. Like, you know what, I'm just gonna continue to win, continue to fight, continue to build my brand, continue to show that, look, I'm a beast in the ring, but a beauty outside the ring. Just kind of roll with the punches more than anything. And if they don't give you what you want, you kind of just have to either create what you want, or sometimes you got to kick the door down, right?
Hell yeah, you do.
But
Hell
it's like,
yeah, you do.
It's like, I don't know. I think I realized that some rooms that I'm not in, maybe those rooms don't deserve to have me in them.
Absolutely. And you know what I love about you? Is you've always stayed true to you.
Yes.
And your roots. And you won't compromise that for anything. And I can sit here as a woman who moved very differently in her own sport, who looked very differently, covered in tattoos, queer woman. That is one thing I won't sacrifice. Mm-hmm. That is one boundary I'm not willing to give up, is to be what other people want me to be, to sell my soul to the devil. I fucking won't do it.
It's not worth it.
No.
You ever see all these celebrities? Some of them are depressed, suicidal, mad all the time, going crazy on social media. It's because they're trying to please people who don't give a shit about them. They are trying to dress and talk and be a certain way, and they're changing their whole lives, and then they're still not accepted.
To fit in a box that doesn't exist.
That does not exist. There you go.
Preach. Amen. And I love that so much about your story. There's no coincidence that there has been a movie made about your life, because your story outside of your boxing, because I do think, and this show Wide Open is so much more about who we are than what we do. You are a testament of that.
Yes.
Your story, how you've made it your power and your strength, and you have held on to that for so many years, and you were such a great icon at such an early age, and you started boxing at 11 years old. And for anyone who doesn't know, to be exceptional at the level you were at 16 at an Olympics and only had 5 years of training, that just doesn't happen.
No.
It does not happen. Like, I was a prodigy in my sport, and I started at 3. You started at 11, picked up a pair of boxing gloves, and you were like, yep, this is for me. I'm going to change the landscape.
Yes.
And it's exactly what you did.
I believe that I was chosen to be a woman boxer.
Mm.
You know, I was chosen because a lot of people, when they talk about women's boxing, right, they say, oh, that they've been discriminated against and they were never accepted and they were talked down upon. I never experienced that. Not in the amateurs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the amateurs, when I was fighting, even up to the Olympics, men were the most respectful to me. My peers and coaches, everybody knew I was special.
Mm.
It just was like when I turned pro is when all the stuff started changing. Now it's like, oh, women boxers aren't as good as the men, and we don't make as much as the men, and we don't get to fight on TV, and we don't get equal opportunity. We don't get to fight pay-per-view. And I was like, okay, this is new.
Yeah.
That was the thing that kind of, you know, it was a little shaky, but when I turned pro, it wasn't a landscape. It wasn't a blueprint. So how do you become a multimillionaire woman in women's boxing? It wasn't a blueprint.
No.
Even Layla Ali wasn't able to crack the code.
Mm-mm.
So it was like,
damn.
I got some work to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to figure out how to do this, but how do you do it?
But it is an uphill battle because we are told our whole life we are not enough, that we aren't worthy of the same things that our male counterparts are. And I can't imagine in a sport like boxing that people are like, oh, you know, I watched the movie The Fire Inside, and, you know, I can't say how accurate it was to what you went through, but I'm pretty damn sure it's pretty close.
98%.
Yeah. But people to say, oh, this is too rough around the edges. Like, these are two women getting, in a fist fight. And how are we supposed to bring sponsorship and eyes to that? That's not pretty enough. That's not delicate enough. We need very feminine attributes and sexiness and the whole, we all get it. We all get it. We're not enough. We're not this. We're not that. We're not sexy enough. We don't fit. I was never the girl next door. And I can't imagine anyone in boxing is. Like, you're not fitting that mold. You are showing what power looks like for your sport.
Power and passion.
Yes.
I think that's where they get the stuff wrong at. It's like, look, my job is my job. You can't expect the cook to go in the kitchen and then he go in there or she go in there with a nice outfit on and then come out and the outfit is nice and clean.
Yeah.
He or she is cooking.
Yeah.
It's flour involved. It's butter, grease.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff involved when cooking. So when it comes to me being a woman boxer and me cooking inside the ring, me cooking in camp, I got work.
Mm-hmm.
I can't come in there looking like, listen, if I wanted to, I can have a nice slim body and I can have a six-pack all year round and I can be very skinny and petite. But for the sport that I'm doing, it is required that I have muscles.
Yes.
That I be strong and have stamina and have good. You have to be great in everything in boxing. You have to have great IQ. You have to be great mentally. You have to be strong in your legs, strong in your back, strong in your neck. I got the biggest traps I've ever seen in my life. You know, so it's like my traps are bigger than some men too.
I love it. I love it. Listen,
and it's cute to me. It's attractive to me. But the other people are like, oh, she's too strong. And it's like, look, let me be passionate about my job, but also know outside the ring, it's a different mold of me. And I think that what people haven't realized is that you can't judge a person off their job. Outside the ring, I'm still a human being and I'm a woman first. So doing my job in order to beat these girls up and, you know, stay undisputed and stay undefeated, this is what it requires. I'm not going to be in the ring with makeup on and lashes and lipstick. I'm sorry. Listen, there are some girls who are badass enough to wear lashes inside the ring.
And you will knock them damn things off.
Listen, I don't know what burns more, a punch to the face or getting that damn eyelash glue in your eye.
Oh my God.
I don't know which one burns worse.
That's so good.
So I'm like, to be inside the ring, knowing that punches are going to be coming at your face, and you guys want me to smile, and you guys want me to wear makeup and wear lashes and be cute inside the ring.
It's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen. I'm going to braid my hair up. I'm taking the edge curl. I'm taking the edge control off. I'm taking the eyelashes off. No makeup at all. All I got is bare face, Vaseline.
Vaseline, baby.
That's it, because it's a fight in here. After every fight, I got to ice my face for 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's poofy here, it's poofy there.
Well, you look great. You wouldn't know. That's what happens when you win.
I take great care of myself, but after the fight, I tell everybody, just leave me alone, please.
Yeah. I
Let me recover. I just went through something. I may have made it look easy, but homegirl caught me with a shot.
I wouldn't know much about it. My extent is rumble boxing, which I lasted. Okay, this is like Barry's class, but boxing.
Okay,
I have to talk to you about this.
I really
have to talk to you about this. This is very off. This is very off script. But I'm gonna tell you this. I retired 3 years ago now, and I said, "Fuck, what am I gonna do with my time? I want to stay active. I want to stay hungry." And people were like, "You are too intense and too aggressive to not take up boxing." So I got a trainer. Shout out Lloyd. I got this trainer. I started boxing. I was like, this is the hardest fucking thing I've ever done. I can't go 30 seconds. Like, we were doing 30-second rounds. So I said, okay, my body is not equipped for this at retirement level. So we need to like pair it. So I did 30 minutes hip hop dance and 30 minutes boxing. So I did that for a long time and I loved it. And it was so hard. And I don't think people understand. Like, I've done a lot of hard shit in my life and I've played a lot of sports. Boxing is a different beast.
Yeah, listen, I think people just underestimate just holding your hands up to protect your face. It's like, when your arms get tired, you want to just...
Yeah, you want to put your hands down.
Well, put your hands down and fight. See what the hell happens to you.
Well, that's in soccer. Okay. You put your hands on your knees when you need to take a break. You got to get that air in them lungs. You can't do that.
There is no break. Boxing is a stress reliever. Right. And without me having boxing, I don't know who I would be, honestly, because from my upbringing in my childhood, I had so much anger and so many things bothered me growing up. And I also dealt with sexual abuse and then having abandonment issues, dealing with my parents. So it was just like, when I found boxing, it just helped me channel that anger. And when I channel my anger, even I channel my anger now, I learned myself. I learned that running makes me feel good. Punching the bag makes me feel good. People think that I like getting hit in boxing. I don't. Boxing, getting punched, it does not make me feel good.
No, I can't imagine.
I actually feel disrespected when somebody punches me. But punching somebody makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And just when you give yourself small goals and you accomplish them, it's the best feeling ever. And there are things in boxing that I wasn't able to do when I was 17, 20, 21. Now I'm turning 30 next month. It's like I can do stuff that I couldn't do when I was younger, and I can do it now. Yeah. You know, run a mile in 6:30. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff I wasn't doing when I was in amateur. Yeah. Now I push my body to certain limits, and I'm keeping track of times. I mean, I can throw 100 jabs in 1 minute. Damn. Stuff like this is like constantly building. Like, I can bench 185 pounds. I wasn't able to bench 100 and nothing when I was 17, 21, 25.
You're a baby.
Right. So now I'm like, look, I'm coming into my women's
woman.
Strength. Right. I can bench 185. I can squat 300.
Damn.
I can do 55 push-ups, 60 push-ups in a row. I think that boxing...
Can we work out together? I need that type of... I need that.
When I get in the gym, I just kind of just go.
I need to work. You're in New York. I need to be in that gym with you.
I need the whole pads for you. I want to see what you're working with.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We are very, very similar. I got a lot of anger in these bones, and I need to let it out. I need to let it out.
I'm telling you, you don't let it out with me because I'm gonna get you. Listen,
But you're gonna hit me once, and I'm not gonna like
hit you. I'm
that.
gonna let you hit the pads.
Okay. Don't you hit
But
me.
I'm gonna make
this
you
is my
slip.
moneymaker, honey.
I make you slip and stuff. You
Okay.
know, move your head, have a little defense. But I'm not gonna hit you.
I would never pick up a pair of boxing gloves if I got hit by you. I probably wouldn't get up off the floor. So we can't be doing that.
I'm not gonna hit you.
But I tell you what, you know what the greatest thing is? Anyone who spends 5 minutes with you, you are such a light, you are such a joy. You bring so much energy into everything you do. And I adore how you show up in the world because, you know, you've gone through, which you just kind of hinted towards, you've gone through so much shit that most people in a lifetime don't understand that kind of struggle. And what I respect the most about you, not all the wins, not all the things, all the groundbreaking things you've accomplished, is your ability to share the struggle. Because there are so many women out there who have suffered at the hands of sexual abuse, have suffered, you know, a lot of hardship growing up and felt like the only opportunity they had was to be a statistic. And you are showing them that's not the case. You are showing them what is possible. And the ability to be this little girl from Flint, to be able to share your scars, to say, this isn't me being a victim. This is powering me to be victorious.
Yes. Well, I could just start by saying that it wasn't always easy to talk about what I went through. As far as the sexual abuse and being raped at 5 and the abandonment and how we were used to be hungry all the time growing up. It wasn't easy to talk about. So I didn't talk about it for a long time. But what it does is now, you know, I'm 17. I'm getting ready to go to the Olympics. I'm getting interviewed and everybody's like, they're so curious about where did you come from? Because you're so different. You're so strong. You fight with so much aggression. Like, where did it come from? And I used to always just keep it short. Like, I had a tough upbringing, but I'm here now, you know. And I tried to just put it off in the back of my head because it was hurtful to talk about how angry I was and how hungry I was and how boxing was the only thing that I had that was going to change my life. And if I wasn't great at it, what I was going to do?
There's no backup plan,
you know. So, I started speaking about what I went through because the secret just got too heavy to keep hiding it. You know, I said, I got tired of people questioning me and trying to, people want their answers, right?
Yeah.
And if you keep giving them an answer, they're like, okay, well, what else? How was it growing up? How's your relationship with your parents? How's this? How's that? And I remember my first boxing coach, Jason Crutchfield, he told me, he said, Ress, you need to tell your story, because he knew about it. And I said, why? And he said, because your story is going to change the lives of many girls who are going through it. It's going to give them the strength to, you know, to be something. And he said, I said, well, I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me. You know, and growing up as a kid, when I first had told my mom what happened to me, she didn't believe me. You know, so I stayed with my grandmother from the age of 5 till I was 10. And so that there built up a kind of it was like a shell for me. Like, you know what, just don't talk about it and don't bring it up, because if your mom didn't believe you, then who else is going to believe you? You know, so I kind of dealt with that, and that's why I never want to talk about it. But he said, no, you need to get it off your chest. You know, you need to let the world know so they can understand you more as a woman and as a person. And so I started talking about it, and you know, people don't ever get the story right. But I started talking about it, and a lot of girls reached out to me saying, thank you. You know, I appreciate you for speaking out. I just told on my uncle who's been doing it to me. I just told on my mom's boyfriend who's been doing, like, I just went and got justice for this. And, you know, I finally told the big family secret that was, you know, and I remember telling them, see, when something bad happens to us, right, we all want to kind of, sometimes you want to live in that. You make it be like the biggest thing ever. And I tell people, like, the best thing you can do is show your abuser that he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you show your abuser that? You become something. You don't blame him or her for what they did to you, and that's why you're so angry. You hate people. You didn't become nothing. You wasn't inspired. You wasn't motivated. It was like, no. Don't let them win. Don't let them feel like what they did to you is going to alter your entire life. And when I decided to let people know about what happened to me, I wanted them to know, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. What makes my story so great is that I went through all this stuff, and then I actually came out on top. Not like halfway on top, but like number one in the world on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and did it for longevity.
You're still doing it.
Still doing it right now. So I'm like, for me, I just wanted to let people know you can still win. Just because something happened to you doesn't mean that you don't have to be your circumstances.
Oh, I love that.
And I just love empowering women to know that. Like, you don't let your abuser win.
Mm-mm.
Let them, I know every time I win a fight, every time when I won a gold medal, every time I made the newspaper article, he's seen it.
That's power.
And it had to make him
your power back.
There you go. It had to make him feel like crap.
Mm-hmm.
You raped a 5-year-old girl, a child, and you're a grown man. And this child, you tried to break her mentally and physically. You took her innocence. And I went through stuff. I went through where I didn't trust men, where I didn't trust people. I didn't want nobody touching me. If I was sleeping, somebody came trying to wake me up, I'm jumping because I'm so scared. So I went through all of that, and even in my adult years, to where I just don't trust people like that, and I'm very protective over kids. So to go through that, and then he thinks that, he's gonna make me he thought I was gonna be angry, or just let him just control my whole life and not be anything. I decided to just be great. And I feel like it makes him feel like crap every time. Every time I do something else big on every TV show, every interview, every win, he's sitting there, he's like, dang, I just could not break her. He should feel like crap.
Yeah, and I love that you have that perspective. And there's no coincidence, and I don't want to get this wrong. You are the only boxer in history to hold all 4 major world titles in boxing in 3 weight classes.
Yes.
After your last win in February.
Yes.
I will say this. I have no understanding of what your experience is and what you went through. I admire your strength and your perspective. And what I hate so much, because a lot in my past, people have always thought, oh, you're too competitive, or you're too rough around the edges, you're too angry, you have anger issues, you have this, you have that. People have no idea what people have walked through until you're in their shoes. And what I always, in every interview, I always said, this was survival for me. There was no plan B. There was no backup plan. And when I read so much about the people who are so harsh on the way you show up, they're women of color in a position of privilege, which drives me nuts. And the way you move is a circumstance of the life you've lived. And no one will understand that but you. And there is no second chance. There is no backup plan. You fight every fucking time you're in training and against your opponent. You're fighting for survival. You're fighting for that little 5-year-old that people will never understand.
Yep.
And how dare them have any criticism on the way you show up and the way you hold yourself and the way you are so unapologetic about the way you move in this world. And good for you, because
Thank you.
not enough women do it.
Not enough women do it. And you know what? Not enough women love themselves,
Mm-hmm.
have learned to love themselves, because it's hard to love yourself when people have not loved you correctly. So when you learn how to love yourself, then you can love other people.
I love that.
So a lot of people who are giving us criticism about how we show up is because they have never shown up. They are still living in the shadows of what happened to them. And they are angry and mad, and they want to make you feel like that. You know, so for me, it's like I always tell I've been telling myself this for the past 3 days. Focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. It's so many positive things happening in my life, so many great things. And sometimes I still get triggered by certain comments from people who haven't accomplished shit.
Yeah.
Haven't done nothing. They don't got no money. They just, all they got is an Instagram account or Facebook, and they're just jealous. And I'm like, you know what? Don't let this person anger you. Block them and go on about your day.
Keep pushing.
Block them. And you know, I'm like, look, you got 1 million some followers. Block them.
Yeah.
They're just one.
Keep
Get them out
pushing.
the way.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to do that, but a lot of these people who are in power and they're so judgmental, it is not nobody place in this world to judge nobody but God.
Yeah.
And it literally says that in the Bible. And also the thief of all joy is comparison. So I don't compare myself to nobody.
Say that again, Claressa.
There you go. It was it the thief of all joy is comparison.
And that's what we do in this society, especially with social media.
Because everybody's life is perfect on social media, right? Everybody's rich. Everybody got the best
Everybody's
clothes.
influencer, traveling to this place and that place.
Everybody got
the product.
Everybody
of
here
suffering.
is perfect. Their clothes is perfect. There's not a thing out of. And you can edit. I can go take a picture right now with no makeup on, and I can edit makeup on my face. Like, and I can look. You know, I can enhance my looks. Like you can enhance your body now. You can make your waist be 2 inches small and your butt be 45. I mean, it's a crazy world we live in.
We really are, and the only people that is hurting in our society is the young women being raised in this current climate. Because it's telling them constantly
to change themselves,
and they are not enough.
Yep.
And that is something where we resist, which I love, because we show up exactly who the fuck we want to be
every day.
And if you don't like it, unsubscribe.
Yeah,
it's not my problem. Like, I have a platform, and what I choose to do with it and how I choose to show up is my business. And I am not going to live it through a filtered lens.
Yes. Preach.
And I'm not going to, as someone who is raising, you know, a Black daughter, I will not allow her to penetrate what culture tells her every single day.
I tell everybody, like, don't be afraid to be different. You know, don't be afraid to be different. Everybody want to try to push you in this box. It's like a box, like you said, that doesn't even exist. It don't even exist.
What does it mean?
Nothing. Because they were saying that when I turned pro, women boxers don't talk trash. Oh, you have to wear dresses
we all
and
talk
heels.
Trash.
Oh, heels, you need to be nicer. And I was just like, no.
Whether I wear kitten heels, a tight little mini skirt, does not matter how much I'm a whoop ass when I step into that.
Doesn't make a difference.
That feel, that core, that nothing. I will whoop some ass no matter what I look like. And you went through it, because in the film, you struggled with endorsement deals by staying true to yourself.
Yeah, but that also too, I think I struggled for 2 reasons. Of course, being true to myself and not knowing that the world had a problem with a certain kind of Black woman.
Yeah.
I mean, had they told me, hey, okay, we all do stuff for money, right?
Hell yeah.
So
we got to pay. We were not making that kind of money in women's sports.
Right. So I was like, okay, if they would have told me, hey, you know, not how you talk matters, but how you look matters, or you need to look nicer inside the ring. If they would have told me that, I would have looked at them like I would have been really confused, because growing up in Flint, Michigan, and I'm the only girl in the gym with 20 other guys, and I've been sparring these guys since I was a kid, and now I'm 15 sparring against grown men who are 25 and 30.
Wow.
We're I was taught to, every time I step into the ring, it's my job to dog you. It's my job to beat you down. I'm already inside the ring with men who are older and stronger and bigger than me. I'm not getting in here to mess around.
Mm-mm.
So when I get in there with a woman, my mindset doesn't change. My only goal is to win, to dominate, to destroy you.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll bite your fucking ear. Like this was got like it's going like up inside the ring is going down. So at the age of 17, had they told me, well, they did tell me to stop saying I like beating girls up and making them cry. But at the time, it was like I do.
Oh yeah, why? What?
It was like it's a competitive sport, you know. And then I feel like if a girl was to beat me, she'll brag about it.
Mm-hmm.
She talk about it because I'm hot stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm supposed to be the girl and be like,
I'm going to be humble in this moment.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna throw it in your face every second I get. I beat you. I dropped you.
God, we
you hit me with this. I hit you with that. Like, so I think that I just wasn't aware that these things existed in the world of, if you want to get endorsements and sponsorships, you got to have a hair person, a makeup person, a stylist, a PR.
It's crazy.
I didn't know that this stuff even exists. Now I'm turning 30, and since I was 26, I can say I've had a publicist, a stylist, a hairstylist, a makeup artist. I got all this stuff now, but that's because I'm leveling up and I'm doing different things. But don't ever get it messed up.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Boxing still matters first. Mm-hmm. And when I listen, I'll show up to the weigh-in in my nice little fur, my little bikini, and I have my little wig on with my cute hair, my makeup on. But when it gets time for the fight, the makeup and the wig is coming off.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to fight. And I'm gonna give you the best fight that you've ever seen. And I don't know, like, there is no compromise with that. So I don't know with these companies or these endorsers on like what they want me to compromise, but I see the guys get endorsements all the time with them being dominant, strong, outspoken.
And rewarded for it.
They get rewarded for it. So it's like, why can't I get rewarded for it? Mm-hmm. Because I'm showing you that I'm this inside the ring, and then outside the ring, I'm giving you this. So you see that I'm pretty. You see that I'm a good looking woman. You see that I'm well spoken, that I'm very strong minded, and I'm very inspirational, motivational with the biopic and it. Like, you see the woman that I am, but then inside the ring, you see a beast. So it's like, how is that hard to market?
Yeah.
I think it's a home run.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I love the letter you wrote in 2010. Was it 2010 Players Tribune to your grandmother?
Oh, that was 2000. I feel like it was 16.
I read that letter you wrote to your grandmother, and she had passed by then.
2010.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. It was a beautiful message that I related to a lot as someone who was raised by a very, very strong grandmother who taught me so much in my life, I admire so much, who is not here anymore, that I carry her with me in everything I do. And I see her everywhere I go when I need it. You have been on this pursuit of excellence, and you have broken barriers at every level. Did your grandmother have a big, big part of the way you move in this world?
What? Listen, my grandmother, I am a spitting image of her. And I am also like a spitting spirit of her. My grandmother was so nice. She cooked. She took care of me. When I was growing up, they thought I have like less hearing in one ear, so everybody thought I was deaf. My grandma taught me sign language, taught me how to communicate and talk. I used to stutter really bad. And My grandma took her time with me, and when I lived with her from the age of 5 to 10, my grandma taught me how to cook, how to clean, how to communicate. My grandma wrote poems. My grandma wrote songs. But let me tell you something. My grandmother Joanne did not play.
Oof.
My grandmother was 5'10" in height, but you would think she was 6'2", 6'5".
Giant.
She had a aura about her to where you knew she was not to be played with. You don't disrespect Joanne. And I am the same way. I come from a line of strong women. And my grandmother just, I don't know, she gave me so many great tips in my life. And the things I didn't understand I didn't understand that what she would say when I was younger. And then I hear it now and I'd be like, oh, she was being sarcastic. She was being funny. You know, I think I was 14. I had a boyfriend and she said, Coco, I'm going to get you a belt to keep your pants up. And I was like, what that mean? Because my pants were so tight that I had on. I'm like, what are you talking about, Grandma? And she was like, And I was like, and then I don't know, I turned, 19 and 20. And I'm like, it comes in my head like she said, I'm going to get you a belt to keep your pants up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. She knew it. Yeah.
She knew what was
going on.
But it was funny because I didn't understand it because I was a virgin until I was 17 and a half. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But also she said, you know, do what makes you happy. And my grandma let me play basketball and football with the guys on the street. She cooked for the whole block. My grandma threw fundraisers for me to have money to go to these amateur tournaments. She used to hang my robe out in front of her house so everybody can see that it said Claressa Shields on the back when they rode past a big old fluffy robe. My grandma she was my everything. So I carry her in my spirit, you know, but she taught me a lot. It's so many things she taught me, so many different things. But she just taught me like not to tolerate disrespect. She said respect goes way longer than gifts.
Yes.
You know, people just giving you stuff, people being fake towards you. She said respect. Don't let nobody disrespect you, belittle you. Always be true to yourself, be strong in who you are. And my grandma accepted me. You know, she never was like, oh, Coco, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. My grandma loved the fact that I was a boxer. She loved it. She hated when I used to get upset and cry if I had a bad day at the gym.
Yeah.
But she would just be like, you do, Coco, just go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you do better tomorrow.
And what I will say, as I have interviewed some of the greatest athletes of all time, Billie Jean King just said that.
I love her.
Yes, and she is an absolute icon and a woman who is so incredibly wise. She spoke about the way, you know, her father was her mentor. And there was no coincidence on the way all of us successful athletes have been raised about knowing our way in the world and knowing exactly who the fuck we are and not compromising or not trying to fit in or not minimizing or belittling ourselves to make other people happy.
Make them feel
we will not sacrifice ourselves and our worth and minimize who we are for other people to accept us. And I think it is really interesting that we have all had really strong figures in our lives who believed in our gifts before we believed in them ourselves. Yes. And I do think that has a lot to do with the secret sauce. I always ask this question, and for a woman who has lived through so many seasons, this podcast is really about the unraveling and being very wide open and vulnerable, talking about the things that made us who we are today outside of what we do. And it's a really important question to ask. And for someone who is so open in sharing their scars, in your journey, what is the one moment in your life that really split you wide open, that changed everything for you? Either personally or professionally. Like, what was that defining moment that changed it all?
You know what? It's 2 defining moments. The first was I was 15, best boxer in the gym out of all the men and the women. I was the only girl in the gym. And I had a bad day at the gym. And when I used to have a bad day at the gym, I used to just start screaming and cursing and throwing stuff. And I mean, I would have a fit.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say a bad day at the gym, somebody kicked my ass that day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm used to kicking ass. I got my ass kicked, right?
Yeah.
And when I whoop somebody in the gym, a lot of times I didn't talk trash to them, but it depends. So one day, a guy, Darian, he got off on me good this day. I was pissed.
You never forget.
Oh, he got off on me so good. It had probably been years since he had beat me inside the gym. We spar all the time, but I don't know. He caught me lacking this day. He pieced me up. And I remember getting out the ring. He was talking trash to me. Yeah, I got your ass today. I beat you up today. And I was so mad. And I get out the ring and I'm trying to hit him with a chair.
Oh.
And I'm trying to throw a glove at him. I'm yelling and screaming at Jason like, Rest, get your ass out the gym. Get out. And I go in a hallway. I'm just like, I'm just crying and screaming. And he's like, just go over there and do that. Because he knew it was going to happen. Right? Yeah. And I remember a coach named Gene Gill walking up to me at the gym after all this. He said, because he tried to talk to me early when I was mad. And I probably said something. I probably said, shut up talking to me. Leave me alone or something. And then he said, once I calmed down, he said, Rest, you got all that talent and you's a hell of a fighter. But he said, if you don't change your attitude, you ain't going to get nowhere. He said, you ain't going to do nothing. He said, your attitude stinks. He said, you gotta, when you get mad, you talk to people any type of way. You yelling and you screaming. You can't control your anger. He said, you got everything it takes to be the best in the world and get everything that you want out this world. But bad people don't get it. He said, you got to be a better person than you are a fighter. And when he told me that, something hit me in my chest and said, he right.
There's truth to that.
I got to be a better person. I got to learn how to control my anger. Just because I'm a great fighter don't mean that I can be this way. Like, and it's not nobody's fault that I'm so angry. Like, okay, it's somebody's fault, but it is my job to change it. And I'm also a Christian. So like, it's my job to be a better person anyway, to bring more people to Christ. And like, how you going to do that? And you got a bad attitude and you think when you get mad, just everything goes. You can say what you want, do what you want, disrespect everybody, disrespect your elders. And when he said that to me, it really it's like somebody punched me in the chest and said, that's real. That's somebody that really cared about you telling you this. So from that day, I started working on my attitude. And I said, you know what? And you know, when you're working on your attitude, you're working on something, all type of stuff starts happening.
Well, hell yeah, because of the ego.
Stuff starts happening. You like, ooh, the old me would do this, but the new me so I always like, be the new you, be the new you, be the new you. And so many things were happening. People were talking to me crazy, disrespecting me. I had another bad day at the gym. And I just remember, like, as I'm going through these growing pains, by the time I turned 16 and a half, 17, and I'm at the Olympics, I had a whole different mindset of how I looked at sparring, how I looked at boxing, how I retaliated to people.
Yeah.
That conversation there changed my life. And then it's one more. I used to take up donations at Burston Fieldhouse to get money to go to tournaments. And people to give $5, give $1, 50 cents, whatever. But this particular tournament, I was probably 14. And a lady who was a drug addict, she used to call me Miss Shields. I used to run past her every morning, run down North Saginaw. Whenever I seen her, she'd be like, hey, Miss Shields, keep it up. Keep it up, Miss Shields. I believe in you. And she was on drugs. Drug addict, right? And so I seen her and she was like, Claressa, come here. I know I thought she was gonna give me some money, but I'm like, okay, whatever. I walked up to her. I'm like, hey, how much you want to donate to me to go to this tournament? And she said, Claressa, I don't have any money for you. But she was like, but I got something else. And I said, in my mind thinking like, what's better than money? What you got? You know? And she grabbed my hand and she said, I want to pray with you. And she just prayed that I just stay strong and I get all the money that I need to go to the tournament and that God protects me and my family. Um, you know, and after she prayed for me, she said, even though I'm going through what I'm going through, you give me strength that I can beat this addiction.
Oh,
And that is probably the two most defining. That moment there defined so much for me because it was like, what is more powerful than money? Prayer. She couldn't give me anything. She prayed for me, and I feel like her prayer still is with me to this day. It's one of the most moving things that's ever happened to me.
Well, it shows you're the chosen one. You were the chosen one. You were the sign of hope.
I want to call my son that when I have him. The chosen one.
The chosen one. Like you were the sign of hope for people who felt hopeless.
Yes.
And to see you out on those streets running every single day to make yourself better in some small way made them better, made them want to be better people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can never underestimate where we come from and how we turn hope into action by just showing up. Yep. And that's what you did. And I think that is a very, very special gift. And for you to hold that with you and cherish that moment and talk about it is really special because Flint, Michigan is not a place someone like you should come out of. And all odds against you, you are now showing young girls who look like you what's possible. And that, to me, and I'm not going to answer for you, feels like a damn good legacy to leave behind.
Yes, it's a great legacy to leave behind. And also, too, I'm still human. I still go back to my city of Flint, Michigan, and I'm so humble and so nice. Everybody in Flint, Detroit, wherever I go, they feel like, hey, you're my sister, you're my cousin, you're my auntie. It's a few kids that call me their mom. Oh. So it's like kids gravitate toward me. People gravitate toward me. People in general, but kids, they just gravitate toward me really easy, and I can get through to them because I speak the real. I actually know how it is to grow up without certain things that I think, I'm not gonna say privileged kids have, but if you a kid and you a teenager and you got a mom that care about you, a dad that care about you, and they make sure you eat, they clothe you, they pay all the bills, and you don't have to go without heat and water, I'm sorry, you are a privileged kid and you are damn blessed because everybody does not have that privilege.
No. And watching the movie that you just told me is 98% very accurate of your life, to watch your story was very humbling and it was very eye-opening. And I suggest everyone watch The Fire Inside because what you have walked and where you have gone is a testament to who you are inside and the way you move in this world. And I am excited to show my daughter your story. I'm excited to show my daughter your strength and your wisdom and your power. And I'm grateful for your story because I do think in this unique world we live in, especially right now with women actually having a movement in sport.
Big movement right now.
We have to tell our story and we have to allow people in. And I think too often we think there's only room for one of us and we rather stand on the neck of another woman than on their shoulders.
Oh, you preaching.
Yeah. And my hope is, I was a part of the equal pay movement in U.S. soccer. I know you were a part of fighting for equal pay. And I love that you have decided this movement goes far beyond just putting the boxing gloves on. This is the legacy you want to leave behind. This is what you want young children who don't have the same access can aspire to be with very little. Like hope is an action for me. and you are the action. You are the living proof of what's possible. And the more you're willing to tell your story, the more people are willing to stand outside of their circumstance, which that is power. Yes. That is strength. That is the movement. And that is what I'm grateful for. And I'm so excited I got to meet you in person, because you are an exceptional athlete, but you're an incredible human. And not enough people give you enough credit. And I hope that in this movement of women's sports, that you get what you deserve.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I say that everything is God's timing. I'm so happy God didn't give me $1 million when I was 17.
God, what would happen?
Thank you, God. Because I'd be broke right now. I think that now me turning 30, I have come into the person that I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I don't stand for. I have control of my brand. I know what my brand is and what it's not. Some stuff that I just don't align with, but some things I do. And I just see that now I can read people better. Everybody's not out to get me. Got some good people in the world. And I have to be, I'm open enough now to accept those good people. But at first, it was like, everybody's bad. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy now that I've come into this space, and that, I mean, it is okay to be happy with yourself. I'm happy with how I look, my hair, my body, my face, my hands.
Well, you know what?
I'm happy with everything.
You're winning. You're dating. Life is good.
Life is good.
Life is good. And sometimes like we have to enjoy the good and not dwell always on the bad. And I love that you're in such a good place, and congratulations on your latest victory and fight. You are really dominating in every aspect of the word. But I love that you're also happy outside of sport.
Yes.
Because what people don't know about what we do and the things we sacrifice, we don't open ourselves up often for joy.
No, because it's a lot of isolation.
Yes, isolation. We feel more at ease in the struggle and the pain, because that's all we've known. That's all we can allow ourselves to be. And what you're doing right now is showing I can be this incredible badass boxer who is checking every fucking box out there and winning everything I want in every weight class. But I'm also choosing joy outside of it because I deserve it.
Yes.
And you do deserve it. And I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
And what's next? Tell everyone, I mean, for someone who's ticking every damn box out there, what is next for you, Claressa?
I want to have 2 more fights this year. And then next year I want to have a baby. I want to have my own kid. I have taken care of so many kids in my family. My little sister Brianna has 3 kids. Suki, Gemini, and Fat Eddie. And I raised all 3 of them. Okay. My nephew Fat Eddie's 11, Gemini 6, and Suki is 4. And when I tell you these kids, like my niece Suki calls me every day. You know, she leaves voice memos. Hey, can I come over to your house? Where you at? And I've always like, my sister kids are like my kids, but I want to have my own kids. So, not that they won't be my kids no more, but I want to have my own kids. I want to have 4 kids total, but I would be okay if I get 2 or 3. So.
Good for you. I have 2, and I'll tell you what, they're a handful.
I've heard.
They are a handful, but it is important for us as women who are paving the way for change to show what's possible, and that is part of it. Because so often when I was in my sport, I was told it's impossible to balance a professional career and a personal life of raising children. And I said, watch me. So I think you can do both. I know you can do both. And what an incredible gift to show everyone, not only are you the powerful woman you are in the boxing ring, but you're also the powerful woman you want to be outside of it. And I encourage that, because my children are the greatest gift that I've ever had. And they bring so much perspective and joy to my life. I would have been a better player if I had them earlier, if I wasn't so scared based on what people told me wasn't possible.
For me, I'm happy I kind of waited. You know, I'm happy about that because, well, even after I have my first kid or my second kid, I want to come back to boxing and
Hell
box
yeah.
some more. I'm not going to retire from boxing until I'm 38.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a good strong 8 years in the game. So
All right, let's do it.
I got some time.
I'm going to be following you all the entire way, but I'm going to tell you this. I need to train with you. You got to let me in. You got to let me in to train with you while you're in New York.
You got to come.
The only rule is you can't hit me in the face.
I'm not going to hit you anywhere. I tell all my friends this, like, listen, I love hard. I do not want to have to fight against any of my friends. Even in boxing, like I have friends and I be telling them, like, please don't call me out because my competitive spirit is going to make me fuck you up.
Yeah.
I want to hug my friends and laugh with my friends, but some of these girls who I'm friends with in boxing, they have called me out for fights, and I'm like, my girl, I'm different.
Yeah. Do you know what I love about you?
I want to beat you up.
This is what for the people who don't know, after Mike Tyson fought, what was it, Jake Paul? What was it, a few months ago? Absolute worst fight we've ever watched. I love that you chimed in and were like, oh, let me know when you're ready to box. Like, Jake Paul, I'll fight you. I almost fell out of my skin. I'm like, yes.
He needs to get
his ass whooped.
He does stuff to piss off the whole world. He gonna piss the whole world off. Listen, I said you don't even have to fight me. Spar with me.
Come on, come to training with us. This is an open invite.
I would kick Jake Paul's ass for
I will
free.
bite fucking ankles. I will buckle a knee. I don't play fair. So I'm letting you know that now.
Listen, I can play completely fair with Jake Paul. And I'm going to kick his ass.
Let's go.
Listen, Jake Paul, first of all, I have to always say this because he's such a hater. He's like, oh, I don't care about Claressa. She's a terrible person. She got all these great accolades, but she's a terrible person. Amanda Serrano was such a better person. Crying on every mic he get on about me. But this is what I would say about Jake Paul, right? I don't have an issue with the clown.
No.
It's just the fact that he has never given me my props. You can't come into the game of women's boxing and call somebody else the GWOAT when I got the most accomplishment.
Yeah.
I got the more belts, the Olympic gold medals. I fight better. I'm more dominant. You cannot say that somebody else is better than me.
No.
So then as we go off from that, it's like, bro, have some respect.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, put some respect on my name.
You're a damn fucking YouTube influencer. Enough.
And look, I like that about him. I think Jake Paul is a funny guy. I think
he is, and he's done well for himself.
He's done so well.
Oh.
Listen, Jake Paul.
Well done. We you know what? Well done.
Listen,
you've made a life for yourself.
Made some money. Got in the ring with Mike Tyson. He's knocked out basketball players, UFC fighters. Listen, Jake Paul, great job, man.
Mm-hmm. Can't fault him on that. He's got a good team around him. So who we calling out? Who are we gonna have in the next
fight again?
Yeah,
Claressa. Some girls I want to cook.
All right, who we cooking on Netflix? Come on, we got to get Netflix on board.
Well, you know what?
Speak it into existence.
So Jake Paul, he doesn't want to fight me because you know I'll beat him up. But he had this girl named Shadesha Green who he said she would knock out me and French-on Cruz the same day. Now, French-on Cruz already whooped Shadesha ass, but Shadesha was talking trash to me, so I want to beat her up too.
All right, Netflix special.
Shadesha Green, Jake Paul, he's your promoter. Come on and make a fight with me. I want to beat up Hannah Gabriels. I want to fight Savannah Marshall again from the UK. She needs to bring her butt all the way to America so I can piece her up. I already beat her up in the UK. So
I'm following you around everywhere.
Yeah, so come to the.
I'm gonna be there.
Come to America.
Mm-hmm.
And then who else I'm gonna beat up? Well, I wanted to beat up Natasha Jonas, but she doesn't want to fight me.
Of course not.
I wanted to beat up Elisa Baumgartner. She's actually too small, but she had a lot of lip. We're a little cordial now, but I still feel like we got to fight.
We got to fight.
Way.
Yeah, we got to fight.
So if we don't fight, at least we got to spar so I can show her who the big dog is.
Oh, gosh. I love this.
Who else I'm beat up? It's just so many people I want to beat up.
We got to make it happen.
Yeah.
I need to be a part of your team.
Yeah, listen. I got the gift of gab and the gift of jab. So it's really no opponents that's off limits. They all can get it.
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you so much for being here. You
Yes.
are so fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this has been, I'm like tearing up because I'm laughing my ass off because you kill me. I love it because you know what? You can talk the talk because you can walk the walk and you will whoop some ass. So it's not out of nowhere, which I respect. But I am very grateful for our time together. I think you're an incredible human, an incredible athlete. And thank you for constantly being open to share your story. And I wish nothing but success for you. Tell everyone watching and listening where they can find you and follow you and support you on this pursuit of greatness and excellence, even though you continue to win.
Yes. So everybody watching, you can find me on Instagram at Claressa Shields, CLARESSA Shields, SHIELDS. I got 1.3 million followers. Get it to 2 million.
Yes.
A lot of behind the scenes content comes from my YouTube channel, which is at Claressa Shields 1. I got 140K subscribers.
Amazing.
So let's get it to, 1 million too. And then on Twitter, I think on Twitter and Facebook, everything's at Claressa Shields. So everything with the blue check mark. If the check mark is not blue, it's not me.
All right. Well, thank you so much and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
I'm still holding you to it. I'm coming to train with you. Get my ass in shape.
I got you.
Retiring, in the mindset I have, I'm an athlete forever.
Yes.
How I move, how I show up. Retirement doesn't make that stop. Let me be very clear.
Okay.
I am an athlete through and through.
Well, I need to get that in me because I'm just a fighter.
We'll see you guys next week on another episode of Wide Open with Ashlyn Harris.